All right, guys, what is up? It's June 12th. Um, man, I'm pretty much just in between naps. I'm still tired as crap from Louisville and from work. But I just had an awesome idea and I want to get it out now while I can, or while I'm thinking of it so I don't forget it. So much in coaching. Well, before I get into that, here at the beginning of the video, just want to share in one of my videos that I've posted on my YouTube channel, I have a code word in it, a code word where I'm like, hey, say this code word to me. Like, you can post it in the comments, send me a message or whatever, and you win $10. The first one to do it wins $10. No one's found it yet, or at least no one has commented to claim the $10. That is still out there, y'all. All right. So today, what I want to talk about, I found in coaching a lot, and a lot of times just in the way that I get ideas, there's not a word created for what I'm thinking or what I found, and it makes it even harder to explain. Because then I end up having to explain that process or concept every time and mix it with another process, and it turns into really, really long processes to follow. So, what I want to explain today, I'm going to invent this word, and I just Googled it to make sure it's not a word. I'm going to call it, and it's the mixture of anxiety and different realities. So I'm going to call it Angality. I'm throwing a G in it because anxiety, I kind of feel like we say a G even though there isn't a G. And yeah, so I'm going to call it Angality. And this concept probably has been identified somewhere, like the Japanese and Chinese. Those Asian cultures are really good at identifying energies like this. But I don't know a word, and when I try to Google it, I don't really find a word. I feel like I have to type in a freaking essay to make it make sense to Google, and it doesn't. That's not going to bring good search results. So, to give you an idea of what I mean, I'm going to just go straight to like a real life example. So, say if you train with me, the first thing I do is I teach you how to touch. As compared to most gyms, you go in there and you're trying to hit stuff. Well, you can't touch what you can't see. We're often hearing that statement from like a boxer being like they're slipping and dodging a bunch of punches, when really I'm going to say it like you have to maintain your vision. We're covering our own vision all the time. People are looking down, things like this. So as I build these fundamentals, people start getting good quickly. I feel like I have an accelerated path to striking as compared to a lot of gyms. Um, Once we get to a point of talent, we can start going a little harder if someone's wanting to compete. Like if someone's getting where they want to go into competition, you need to face the reality of what you're going to face in competition because of angality. And that's not the only way I'm wanting to try to explain this word. What I'll run into a lot when I get someone at that point and they want to go harder or they want to be more realistic, what really the stage that they're at is they haven't recognized that their touching is now becoming striking, and they haven't touched enough people to realize how easily they can touch someone and hurt them. They just haven't proven it to themselves yet. So in these moments, they'll want to go harder and be like, hey, can we make this more realistic or whatever? And it's like, yeah. What often happens is, say someone normally comes and does 10 to 20, we'll say 15 to 20, because 10 to 20 is a big jump. We'll say 15 to 20 rounds with me. When they go harder, they won't do more than like 3. And you'll see more fatigue in them because we're going faster and harder and exerting more energy. But I truly, 100% believe that the fatigue factor is emphasized because of angality. It's emphasized because we are now in a situation where someone is actually trying to hurt me, or we perceive it that way. Someone is trying to hurt me as compared to practice. And we can be calm and peaceful and practice and think more clearly and be more effective. So another way to compare, another example of angality that is more common, this is how I will explain it to my student in the moment. If I'm picking up, and I've got one or two that we're pretty much at this. I got one specifically I've been meaning to have this conversation with, but I haven't had them in a minute. I've been busy. If we were just like in my living room right now, and I had two cinder blocks and set them on the floor, so that's like what, 8-10 inches off the ground, and then I set like a thick 4x6 piece of wood that's 6 feet long or 10 feet long on one end and the other to make like a balance beam, and told you to walk across it. You could probably do it with, assuming, you know, you got your equilibrium and everything, you could probably do it, no problem, no sweat, no anxiety. But if we take the same exact scenario and we will pretend we are in a vacuum so that there's no wind factor, we will completely remove the wind factor just for this scenario, just so you can follow what I'm saying. But same thing, two cinder blocks, 4x6 that's like 10 feet long going across it, and you'd walk across it, but we put it 100 feet in the air. Your anxiety is going to go through the roof. You're going to stumble, you're going to shake, stuff like that. Now, I get it. You might have a couple badasses out there like, oh, yeah, I'm not scared of heights. Listen, in the reality of moments, everything is different when something is real compared to practice. So, what I'm calling angality is the fatigue and the anxiety that we pick up when we are in a different reality, although we are doing the same exact thing. So once I'm at a point where I can strike and I recognize that my touching is striking and is the most effective striking and does damage, I can maintain that peace of mind if I have good experience with my angality and recognizing my angality. Recognizing, oh crap, I'm starting to let this reality shift into something it is and make myself move in harder fashions than I should because of angality. Like, it's like, oh, I'm in a fight now. I feel like I need to go faster and harder, even though I don't go fast and hard in practice like this. So it's not going to be the same as what, if that makes any sense. Angality, though, I feel like that's going to be a great word. I'm going to start using it. Angality is the anxiety or fatigues. Well, what is anxiety? Angality is the anxieties in a different reality, even though you're doing the same process. So it's like, how many times have you boxed someone hard at your gym compared to how you feel like in your gut during that, compared to how you feel in your gut when you're about to go box in front of 600 people for competition? Those differences in feelings is angality. Man, I like that. I think that was pretty smart. That's really all I wanted to get out. I'm not gonna apply it to anything right now. I just wanted to kind of get the word out. And if you know a word that already exists that kind of describes what I'm saying, I'd be glad to hear it. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to look into it. I love learning. And also, again, I got a code word, win $10, hidden somewhere amongst my 90 videos. Let's go. This is the War Lab, Concepts with Kimbler. Big time players, making big time plays. We do some big things every round, baby. Making this Tootsie roll.